So before I begin, I'd like to mention that the Academy Premier League is now live, season 6. Can you believe? Shout outs to fucking everyone. Ike, Devin, the original put together of this toast. I haven't seen toast. All of these guys who've been previous just champs. The Academy could not be anywhere without them. I mean, anywhere without every one of these beasts right here. So what is the Premier League, right? If you want to join a team tournament where you can play with some of the best players, learn from them in a great environment that is actually non-toxic, right? Is actually healthy. Not a wussy pussy, yo, all is well. You will be challenged, but in a way that will leave you more developed as a man, because all men are challenge machines, right? We are about strength. We gain strength in various areas, and the only way we can acquire strength is through challenge. And then when we get the ability to overcome the challenge from losing over and over until we get it, that's the zest of life. So if you're not doing that as a man, oops, my background, now you know it's Windows. Then what are you doing? So click the link in the description down below to sign up for the Academy Premier League. That's something you definitely want to tap into. Many more tournaments coming soon. And yeah, so this is the new version. I put a Scarlet and I put Specs Polt on there. So that's it. Because we, while we didn't face any water types yesterday, I'm be like, okay, like bulky waters could be a real issue, particularly unaware ones like Dozo, Skeletor. Yeah, because I was going to say it's just what Skeletor's one, but when I scanned the team yesterday, I could see Skeletor's being a nuisance, particularly that sub variant. So yeah, that's what we're working with today. And so we're facing 16 to 54 user. And I'm excited to do Zoroark things. Also, Miascarada has the U-turn, and so we can still do U-turn things. 4 members on this team has U-turn. So Zoroark has plenty of options to do trickery and such. So all that being said, let's identify what the opponent struggles with. He has a pretty solid ghost resist. Very unconventional team that could give me trouble. I like sub on Corviknight, particularly for Garg. You can 1v1 Garg if it has sub. If it doesn't, it can't. And Rotom can't wisp it. Miascarada offensively is always a beast. People sleep on just this raw offensive potential. They usually use it as some kind of suicide mod. I'm like, don't be disrespectful. Terra Dragon Dragapult, once I body that Corviknight, will body the remainder of his team and 2 KO everything and leave nothing but terror in its wake. I could also Gambit him, but him having a Ditto does pose some problems with that. So we'll see. That being said, I'm going to try to disrupt his flow very early by tricking the Garg. And so to trick the Garg, I'd have to bait the Garg in with said Polt. I'm going to aim to win with Scarada / Polt. Corviknight is in. Again, one would assume, hey, you'd scout for the fire move here and go to Garganical, but this is lower ladder, so yep, there we go. And so Jam got him. Jam got that ass. You know what I'm saying? And my Zoroark has still not been exposed, so this allows for me to U-turn out into my Great Tusk, take that clutch, my Great Tusk, take that clutch chip. Now the downside obviously is that we cannot. I'll always spin here. Because now that the Garganical is chipped and it's unveiled Stealth Rocks, that means now Ghost Spam reigns. I can Ghost Spam very, very, very easily. And this Garg pretty much will never do anything for the remainder of the game. The reason I'm not going to go for Stealth Rocks first is one, he should go Corviknight straight up. 2, I could knock this turn knowing he'd go Corviknight, and I could get rid of what I expected to be a Rocky Helmet. People tend to mindlessly use Corviknight, U-turn, and all that stuff, even though it's not the correct play. You want to, right? I figured he may opt for that option, and so now it allows for me to not. I knew he wouldn't go Garg that turn, but it could have been a risk, unnecessary risk, I suppose. And while we're beating down his Great Tusk, right? Remember, now that I find out that his Corviknight is, now that I found out that his Corviknight, it might not even be default on Corv because he has spin and thing, but it could be. Stealth Rock here, even if he leaves the Tuscan, interesting body press. So that means you can't. Interesting. Yeah, I just dawned on me. I'm like, that means you probably can't. So I could Terra Dragon Draco here. It does mean that. Yeah, actually, there's no reason not to. Even if he stays in 1, he can't. He won't outspeed me 2. He won't. I might 2 KO his Corviknight. I think after rocks, and so that's why I wanted the rocks. Because after rocks, Terra Dragon Specs Draco might 2 KO. I'm assuming I connect. So all the moment, that game was a wrap. Right, that turn right there, fucking wrapped. My Meowscarada was just eating his team. Yeah. Oh, actually, never mind. It's Spadef, and he U-turns. This is a key lesson, especially if somebody's stuck in the 1600. I'm gonna start discussing this as I climb through the various parts. It seems to be Spadef though, because you're not taking that little from my thing unless you're Spadef. Which yes, say Spadef Rocky Helmet, which is odd. But Meowscarada is just as dangerous now. But the key thing is you want to every turn. Firstly, you must determine what your objective is. It's clear this guy is not playing with any real objective. You can tell that his team structure. There's no point, right? It's just sort of things mesh together. And as you're learning, that's fine. That's not a biggie. But why do I bring this up? Well, let me think about. I want to finish this off. Tusk is at 71. Item removed. He has a Ditto. Yeah, once I kill his Garganical, my Corviknight just... Oh, my Corviknight can't Terra. So, I'll be a little careful around his Iron Moth. Iron Moth can't boost, though. So, my Dragon Pole should be able to... Well, he can Agility. It has Sucker Punch and such, so... Should be fine. What could this do? Spike? I don't see why I can't go hard Meowscarada. Yeah. And I can Spike here. Because he's going to try to go Corviknight / Garganical. If he switches the Corviknight out, then he's done for. If he switches the Corv into Garganical, usually this Meowscarada, I knew he would die there one because it's a fucking knockoff stab. You're taking at least 25%. But also because again he took nothing from my Draco, so that implies heavily specially offensive. And now the Ditto is losing 25% per turn. So if that Ditto feeling like, okay, well I'll just do what you're doing. Oh no, you're not. Oh no, you're not. Not without punishment, you're not. So the Iron Moth comes in his heavy duty boots. Obviously, if I knock him here, he's done for. But he only went to this because he's, again, Meowscarada offensively is a beast. Like, it should not be underestimated. Now, the fact that it's boots makes me somewhat wary of some kind of agility stuff, like a Terra Fairy agility. Like, I could sweep me. Like a Terra Fairy. And this is a critical moment, right? Meowscarada is amazing versus his team. So it's like, okay, Jam, well, you know, it literally beats him when it comes in. But I also could win with other things. Right? I could win. I can't switch into Great Tusk. He can't. You know, so it's like, okay, well, what is my worst case scenario? My worst case scenario would be him agilitying and being Terra Fairy. I would get swept. So I'm going to just go for knockoff here. Even though I'm going to lose my Meowscarada, which wins me the game, it prevents my worst case scenario. So this allows for me to go to Polt, and I can Draco freely, and the Iron Moth cannot switch out. Okay, do I Draco here or do I Shadow Ball? If I Shadow Ball, he gets to free switch into Garganical and gets to spin. No, he doesn't get to spin because Zora can come in, but... Yeah, he can't. As long as he can't spin, I didn't need to worry about Garganical there. If Guard comes, it actually gives me another KO. As he has to Salt Cure. right? And so, right, and it has to take the punishment. Great Tusk gets to come in. Do I even care about spinning Truth Be Told versus rocking? So Assault Cures. All I need left to win is my Corviknight. So what I can do here is actually... is that necessary? It's not necessary. Let's just hit his Tusk. I was going to say I could... because Earthquake is the only thing. He could Earthquake here. I don't mind. Because then the... let's say he spins. That doesn't change shit. Actually, he can spin if he wants. I figured he wouldn't spin because if Zoroark came in, I just realized that he had knockoff. Does he not have Earthquake? So this is beautiful because Zoroark copying. So now he's probably gonna forget that my Dragapult is my Dragapult, and he's gonna go to his Ditto and realize that I've never seen that interaction. So I guess the Ditto is gonna copy my Zoroark. Yeah. And now the bad thing about this is that I did not know that was how that worked. That is funny shit. That is some funny stuff. What is happening right now? So is it gonna imposter my... Okay, that's fine. I'd rather you be my Gambit. Especially because you're Scarf. I did not know that's how that worked. Obviously I could have just flamethrowed him, but like what is he gonna do to my Gambit? All I do now is just Katow. Katow, Katow. And Gambit just wins. He has more fallen than me, but I have far more HP than him. And far more moves. So now he dies to hazards if he stays in. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So now I just Sucker Punch and you're done in this town. I could have Swords Dance there, but you know, what am I Swords Dancing for? And now, because I don't need it to beat the Gastrodon. So the turn with Meowscarada is critical because again, Meowscarada, if I just U-turn there and switch to Polt or switch to something mid-ground, the likelihood of him being that Iron Moth is low. But I'm like, okay, can I win if I lose Meowscarada here? Yes. Can I win if he's the exact thing I'm fearing? No. I would just lose there. So, you know, it does make the game harder, but very cool team. Wow. Incredibly cool team. I'm going to enjoy playing it. I'm going to enjoy playing it. That's what I meant to say. Meowscarada as usual, great. Iron Hands, what's up with the models? I swear they did not look like that. So Great Tusk has to be at the utmost for Iron Hands. If it's flying, it's a little annoying because I'm not bulk up. If I was bulk up, it wouldn't matter. But I'm not bulk up Tusk, so Terra Flying could be a bitch. So I have to use my Terra Dragon. Terra Dragon could have been good if he didn't have 2,500 fairy types. But Shadow Ball is great. Indeed, he's his only thing. I really don't know what to expect here. I think there's some trick room element to this. Bro really tried to go above and beyond with this, the strategy on this. So much so that I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I'm going to try to... Gambit can't beat this, but it can probably beat the other stuff. Physical Polt here would be so good. So good. So what the question is, what am I going to Zoroark? I want my Zoroark to be my King's Gambit. But I'm actually going to Polt. I want my Zoroark to be my King's Gambit because I want it to lure in the Iron Hands. And if I can hammer away at his Iron Hands. But if I were to break this team down, I think I should just scout out and play a bit more defensively. It's very hard for him to break through my Corviknight, particularly on the rain. So he leads Iron Hands. I'm pretty sure that's this Iron Hands. There are a couple options here. I could just U-turn out. The thing about Iron Hands is that it can't... I don't think it can one-shot my anything. What I'm worried about is that he hard switches out into Hatterene. It's not the end of the world, but it loses me a lot of momentum. And again, I don't think he can one-shot me with anything. But if this gets hit, then my King Gambit is so good. So is it worth terroring? What would I need my terror on anything else? Not necessarily. Please hit. Thank you. Didn't kill, but I don't think he can kill me. Yeah. Wow, that did a lot to me, actually. So now, obviously, Hatterene or Mimikyu wants to rear their ugly head. So what I'll do... it's too big of an issue if either of those come in. I'm pretty sure they're Trick Room. So it looks like he's staring down my Gambit right now, which is great because this allows for me to Shadow Ball straight up as he likely goes to Pelipper / Slowbro. Yup. Oh man, I almost killed him. As now he's like, oh shit. So let me go to Meowscarada. Now, before that's like Nox like, Jam, you're outplaying the shit out of him. It's just positioning, right? If you notice every play I'm making, let's take the Dragapult turn. Let's say he stayed in with the Iron Hands on my Zoroark, I wouldn't die. So it was one of those plays like, okay, if he does switch, it's not the worst case scenario because I don't need Zoroark to be at full for any particular reason. If he does do what I expect, it's a great for us. And then the next turn was Zoroark versus Slowbro. Meowscarada's typing naturally while Slowbro. There's no Scald. If I go to Meowscarada, it's very low risk for me. If he does what I expect, it's very high reward because now I get my Meowscarada in. Come on, bro. Okay, it's Trick Room. Okay, I was like, if you went for fucking Terradam Blast fighting, I would have been so peeved. So Corviknight is key here because one, he does not want. He's gonna fucking Healing Wish. But he already Terra'd, so I'm okay with that. The Hariyama might be banded. Jesus, that did a lot to my Pult. I just thought about that. That is a unstabbed Earthquake. Iron Hands is not that strong. Base 140 attack. What is that? But there's no way that shit is banded. Sheesh. Okay, so that's good news. That's good information. I don't think this has Terra Fighting. Here comes the Healing Wish. I'm sure, yep. So here comes the Iron Hands. Again, I think this is banded. So he never Thunder Punch, but this is way too important. Like this wins the game. So I never stand. So it's probably like some like Weather Ball shit. Now I can Shadow Ball freely with both my beasts. So that's great. I might have to eat a CC here, which is not the end of the world. So yeah, Pelipper's with the Trick Room. So I'm guessing this is like some kind of slow specs thing. Zoroark is really good. I don't want to give Zoroark up. I don't want to give up any of my ghosts, and I can't lose this. He has 2 turns of Trick Room left. And at full health. So I end up doing is giving Gambit up. Seems odd. Yeah, he specs. Okay, I just needed to know what he was. Okay, so we get the relevant damage. He specs, and he's probably slow specs. So that means that I can pull and ball hard. I ball hard, man. He's gonna likely give me the Mimikyu's Disguise, which I know he doesn't want to do. I have to position very well for this Pelipper. I need rocks, but that's gonna be very difficult to get up. Yeah, this Pelipper, again, I don't know if it's slow. I'd assume it's probably like max HP. It's Iron Hands. He needs my Great Tusk gone, so he knows enough to double out there. Though the Great Tusk was fairly obvious. I was very tempted to go for Roost that turn. If I roosted, it would have been great. But at the same time, not Pelipper. Corviknight is more of a defensive stop than something that is offense. So he goes Iron Hands. It's a big mistake. Is he Bullet Punch? Does that shit get Bullet Punch? No, he has banded Bullet Punch. That's a big Spadef drop though, because that means the second one KOs. Yeah, so there's the Mimikyu, which I figured he'd do last time. And he red cards me out into Zoroark, which is the worst case scenario for him. Wow, it fucking lived. No, and I'm Choice Scarf. So, okay. So now it's all about positioning so that that Pelipper can't have its way. So he cursed shit. Here comes the fucking Pelipper, which I'll deal with. I'll offensively have to deal with his Hatterene. I don't have priority, which is a big deal. Yeah. But my Meowscarada I can take any one hit, which is a big deal. So me being max Spadef is a blessing. Do I U-turn? If I'm gonna live, do I need the damage? Because I go Meowscarada, I go for. If I live, it's better to actually U-turn. If I Brave Birded there, so I'd have killed myself and have one less sack. Because now it's very likely if I get the spike up, I can sweep him. I'll Flower Trick though, because I can't have him surviving. Yeah. And I have the Overgrow boost now. So my Meowscarada is a legitimate issue. Like if I can't Terra Grass. Iron Hand comes in. This here comes likely close combat, but my Corviknight, he has another Healing Wisher, so we want to make sure that we're Iron Hands. Because if I go hard Great Tusk here, if I sack Corviknight and he's CC, I think he has to go for something that's not CC. Yeah, like it's like if he CCs and I go Zoroark, he's done in this town, right? And so this allows for me to pivot back to my Zoroark here, to cover any kind of trick. Trick would mean he can't Healing Wish. I'm not killing him, so I'll rather Trick. Yeah. And so now he has to give up one of these motherfuckers. Which is likely going to be Iron Hands. But I don't mind Iron Hands coming in because I have a Great Tusk. The thing he wants no smoke with. Clearly by how he's been playing. And I should be able to take any... Because Great Tusk can come in on... He could double back to Hatterene here. He CC'd my Zoroark. Good play. Problem is I can go back to that was a ballsy play, but he needed to make that play. The problem is you can't beat my you can't KO my Meowscarada, my Zoroark in one hit. Yeah, and you lose slow, bro. And so now you got to go to Hatterene and pick either Trick Room or Healing Wish, and you can't have both. So he goes for Trick Room, and obviously here I just go for. He's in a catch-20. But it doesn't matter because Great Tusk. Because I was like, I could really just go for something that wouldn't KO him here and switch. Like if I hard switch, I could have hard switched to Great Tusk there and win the game. Because I either get the left. Actually, yeah, hard switching to Great Tusk there would be my best play. If he stays in, he reverses his Trick Room, which seals the deal. If he switches to Iron Hands, I get a round of leftovers. And now Iron Hands has to lock himself into something. I have way too many socks to stall out his Trick Room, so he could never win there. Very cool team. It takes a lot to work it. And I'm it's a testament to the coolness of the team, though I don't have the best range switchings. All my water resist are offensive, so like you actually had that Pelipper is actually a lot more of a problem than I'd like to admit. And the Healing Wish of the Iron Hands is a big deal. Alright, so we're going to grab one last one. I feel like everybody's enjoying... Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just projecting. But I'm like, the Zoroark shenanigans the past 3 days. Shout outs to y'all as well, man. You know, sometimes I forget that, you know, people enjoyed this. It's not in a a low self-esteem kind of way, but I think when and you may be this way about whatever the thing is that you do, you know, I'm not going around, ha ha ha, I'm the greatest content creator of all time, ha ha ha, right? And so, especially because I'm far from the biggest, right? So it's like, you know, you forget sometimes, oh, dang, there are people in this world who are actually looking forward to consuming the thing you're producing. Beyond the educational stuff, because that's my lane, but in terms of an actual live and the style of narration and the in-depthness, you know, the time most of you guys take to say, yo, Jam, I appreciate the consistent uploads, or I look forward, or, you know, shout out to my boy T-Bag, he's like, you know, nothing beats Jam and eating, right? Like, so it's those comments matter, and they're great reminders of, hey, you know, You're doing your thing out here, Jam. People appreciate what you're putting out. Beyond you just doing it because you like it. So this final game, bro brought out all the stops, all the court drives, mono court drive. So this is about a game of attrition. I'm gonna have to weather his court drivings and then just beat him into the dirt. So I think Zoroark's gonna be critical here because I doubt because it's court drive. I doubt either of these are the boosting item, which means unless it's a scarf, my Zoroark will outspeed it and put it in the dirt. And I think Zoroark with hazards up and Terra Ghost can put his entire squad in the dirt. And you know how I love putting things in the dirt. This may have T-Bolt, so I want to make sure my Corviknight is at the utmost. I'm pretty much Corviknight honestly bulking up rather than this can probably mash up him team. So the Tusk matchup is decent. So phase 1 is gonna be hammering away with Polt early. Toxic Spike suck, but if he loses his speed boosting early, like I'm in a good position. What do I want Zoroark to be? If I bring Scarlet in, what would he switch to? I want my Zoroark to be my Gambit, though that might not hurt. That might not help me at certain points. But he actually does lead Shuriken, which is dangerous if I Draco here. If I Terra Dragon Draco, I'm pretty sure this is maybe normal Draco kills him. If he goes hard Valiant, I'm in a bind, so I'm reluctant to do it this way. Dragapult, he probably just is like, fuck it, I'm gonna get the hazard. I'm gonna get the and he's lower ladder, so I know he doesn't have a game. Well, not just because he's lower ladder, but the particular part of his ladder, the ladder he likely doesn't have a thorough game plan or anything like that. Draco normally kills him. Shadow Ball is an easy 2-hit KO. So for positioning's sake, I'm going to Shadow. See, I could have killed him there. And he goes just for a spike. That's all he did. Not all he did, but I could have just wiped out his. But that's what I mean. Like I knew that's likely what was about to happen. So the terrain, again, it's a game of attrition. But the problem a lot of times is that I don't know the opponent's level of skill, and so I have to position myself in a way where even if he doesn't know what he's doing, I am not risking too much, right? Like this, for example, no idea what's about to go down. All right, this thing learns a fire move. Corviknight is really important, as I said, for Valiant. But after I stall out these, I don't think. I'm not gonna go Corviknight, even though on paper it seems like it makes perfect sense. Meowscarada is so fucking. I'm not gonna go Meowscarada either. It's too good, especially if it's not terrain. But what do I go? I think I have to go by Gambit. Gambit's solid too. Well, Gambit's probably one of the few mons that wouldn't die in one hit, unless he fire moves. Okay, U-turns in his speed. He gets a crucial critical hit. If he goes to Iron Valiant, I'm going to Iron hit him. I need that shit gone. That's the one thing where it's like too many variables as far as it's set. He goes Moth. It's special attack, which means that it's I can't KO this that easily. I could terrestrialize, but it would mean that my Terra is gone for. I mean, what else do I need Terra for? Like in terms of Moth, if it's Specs Moth, it could still kill me. I'm actually just going to Sucker Punch for the damage. Fiery Dance knocks me out. It allows me to reposition my Polt. Again, game of attrition here. We're gonna Shadow Ball to knock this bad boy out. I probably should have went Zoroark here, truth be. Nah. We gotta just do what we can while we can do the things we can do, you know? And so right now my Corviknight is looking gorgeous. Right, Corviknight with bulk up is just gorgeous versus the remainder of his team. And now I go Tusk. I don't think I can keep everything. Pulses, and I take 2. Yes, I was hoping for that. I was hoping Pulse is what he'd use. I mean, he might not be choice. He could be. Nah, you're doing 42 to me. You're fucking specs. What to do here? Rocks matter. Rocks matter. I could have spun there, but rocks matter more. Electric terrain is about to wear off. So what I'm gonna do is actually use this as an opportunity to get my flower trick boost and to get the relevant hazards up. So what we're gonna do is spike here. One would assume that he just Dark Pulse again. Yeah, assuming I don't get. So now I have my flower trick boost. I can U-turn. This flower trick boost is gonna be important if the Valley. Is he helmet? What the hell are you doing, bro? The hell is you doing, bro? And this is wonderful because now I can flamethrower and he can't spin. Now flamethrower is at minimum neutral. This is why I got the hazards up, because now everything went from 3 hit KOs to 1 hit KOs and 2 hit KOs. All right, so the Valiant comes in. It should be good. Yeah, maybe sack Tusk here. I don't see how. Unless if it's Scarf, then so be it. Moonblast. Yeah, I mean, there's just no downside to Corviknight Brave Birding. If he's not Scarf, then I just win. He's Spexed, I think. Yeah, so that was just a game again of positioning, right? It's like, okay, well, there's too much data I don't have. So let's just position ourselves in a place where the opponent, even if it does things, because he had the firepower to give me trouble, but I also had the firepower to give him trouble. So it's about who was positioning better. So this team, as expected, could have been taking us to the 1800s, but I got to go record with a certain PokeTuber right now. So I don't want to risk grabbing another game and it going over our time. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me today. Thank you. I mean, I really mean this. And again, check out the Academy Premier League. Link is in the description down below. Definitely something you want to tap in. And yeah, if you want coaching from me, hit the script. There's a link in the description down below as well. I'm going to be opening that up for the month again. Yeah, peace.